to do it, so I'll do it, right? I mean, usually what people do is they have a lot of ideas and they have a lot of capacity. They have like really strong potential to do something which is important, but they don't really do it because they feel they don't have enough resources, they feel they don't have enough time. Jabki I feel that everybody has enough time to, start with their dream. I mean, they kind of subdue their work, they kind of suppress themselves. Ki, I won't be able to do it. I don't have enough resources. I don't have money. That's not true. If you have, even if you have 5,000 or 10,000 rupees, I'm putting out my own example. I had 10,000 rupees in my piggy bank or my wallet, and I used that to start Kiraas today. That even if I start something new at this day, at this point, I know I will only start it if I have enough confidence in me. So yeah, building confidence.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Climapreneur show. So, before hearing Kirti and her amazing journey with Kiraas, I have an important announcement to make, and I'm so excited for this. So, today is my dad's birthday, and he's the one person, he's my business advisor, he's my life coach, he's my best friend, he's the reason why I could be on this beautiful journey, the reason why I started, the person who motivates me every day. And on this special day, I bring to you our new e-commerce platform that will be releasing soon. Remember, House of Clima. You heard it right. House of Clima coming soon. House of Clima, your one-stop shop for good deed. India's finest sustainable fashion brands all in one place. Your own store, shop sustainable. So follow us on Instagram and stay updated. And now, we have with us today on our show Kirti Sharma, founder of Kiraas, a MBBS student, a 21-year-old climapreneur, someone driving climate action, and someone who will tell you if you want to follow your dreams, if you want to follow your passion, there are no excuses, absolutely no excuses. So I discovered Kirti over Instagram, a change maker, a solution bearer, someone filled with positivity and working to bring change in people's lifestyle. Welcome to the Climapreneur show, Kirti. I'm so excited to have you on our show.
Thank you, Shweta. It's an honor, actually.
Thank you. So, as you told me earlier, also that Kiraas was actually born out of your piggy bank.
Yeah,
So, would you like to throw some light on that?
yeah. So, actually, when I started out, like I said, it was for my
Mm-hmm.
personal consumption, the products that I was making. So, I obviously wanted to become an independent woman. I actually still have a longer way to walk,
Mm-hmm.
to achieve that independence as a girl, as a woman. And when people say that we should have women empowerment and we should support women and women should be in the business, I feel that the main reason, I mean, keeping aside all the factors of patriarchy and all other things, the main reason or one another reason why women empowerment is not something that we can see so often in our society is because the girls, the women themselves, they stop themselves. I mean, they kind of subdue their work, they kind of suppress themselves. Ki, I won't be able to do it. I don't have enough
Mm-hmm.
resources. I don't have money.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true. If you have, even if you have 5,000 or 10,000 rupees, I'm putting out my own example. I had 10,000 rupees in my piggy bank or my wallet, and I used that to start Kiraas. So yeah, it's the truth. So you don't, if you really want to get the kind of independence that you see other women having, the women or the girls who are in business, if you want that
Mm-hmm.
kind of independence, you need to work for it and you need to stop making excuses for it. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
So my parents, they told me that they would invest if in case I want to ever expand it. They told me, but I said no. I want to do this on my own with my own savings. As it is, I'm a kind of person who doesn't really spend a lot. I really have a very conscious consumption kind of character. So since childhood, it's something that I got from my mother. Yeah. So I always, whenever people used to give me 500 or 1000 rupees for Diwali or birthdays, I used to save it, put it in bank or put it in my wallet or anywhere for savings as savings. So I gradually, this habit of saving has only helped me build Kiraas. So yeah, it's no amount is actually small. Even 5,000 rupees is not less if you really want to invest it into building your platform or into building your own brand. And besides, the main reason why I could use such a small amount to build Kiraas was because I sourced all my things, all my products, all my ingredients for all the products locally only. I supported the local business people, local farmers for all the ingredients. And so when you do it locally, the ingredient cost comes down on its own. So this is
Yes.
also one of the smart tactics that business owners or entrepreneurs should be using, no matter which field they want to work in.
I think it's a beautiful piece of advice, actually. So, my question to you would be, how do you feel about those fears right now?
Okay. So, I'll tell you honestly, it's something that I don't really open up publicly, but since we are having this beautiful conversation, I feel I should mention it. So, before starting Kiraas, in the middle of my first MBBS, we were just about to have exams in May 2019, and I started off in March 2019. So, just before the exams and before Kiraas's inception, I was having a really hard time in college because of the new environment, the new people, and I was from an all girls school. So it was very difficult for me to accept the changes and the behaviors that boys had when I shifted to a co-ed education, co-ed college. So, basically, because of such things and because of the people who tend to cause more harm to you when you enter the college because you're a good student, because you earn good grades or you have good rapport with the teachers. So there are some students who like to, demean you, who like to put you down. So I used to think about it a lot. And like I said, I used to be the kind of person who would take in every person's reaction, comment, or any sort of criticism into account. And I used to feel ki that person is saying the right thing about me. So that self love kind of thing was never there before Kiras was before Kiras was actually started. So it was one of my fears that if I do something for myself, because for the first time, if I do something for myself, if I put off that wings of independence on me, if I attach those, what would be the reaction of people to this? How am I gonna feel about it when people say कि इसको तो business women बनना है, इसको doctor नहीं बनना है, and all such things. So I used to think, and I used to have a mental toll on all such things and feel really, really, really bad about it. Those were my fears, and those fears I conquered them through the journey. I mean, it's something that I learned, like I mentioned, that people's reaction shouldn't be your cause for stopping. It shouldn't be the reason why you stop things that you love doing. And Kiras has been really, really helpful in my mental health also, because I could distract myself from all that negativity into something and do something
Mm-hmm.
productive from it. So, one of the fears, other than that, I was always very confident that if I start something, I'm going to do my best on it. That's what I feel about myself even today, that even if I start something new at this day, at this point, I know I will only start it if I have enough confidence in me. So, yeah, building confidence is very important to get over your fears,
Mm-hmm.
and having the realizations that what you are doing is worthy is more than enough to conquer the challenges and fears and all the negative things that
Mm-hmm.
come with it. Yeah.
Well said, Kirti. I truly feel that you need to trust yourself, love yourself unconditionally, because
Yeah.
at the end, we matter to ourselves the most.
Yeah.
Like I remember you saying that Kiraas is like therapeutic to you.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean it's something that I do with my own choice because it helps
Mm-hmm.
me wave off my stress, my pressure that I have due to studies, because it's inevitable. You just cannot
Mm-hmm.
not have pressure of studies if you
Mm-hmm.
are in a medical school. It's undoubtedly one of the things that stays with you, and it's also something that pushes you to become better. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, Kiraas,
Correct.
mostly the work that I do for Kiraas is after I complete my studies for the day, the routine that I put off a day before, and then I just do the work. It goes in the flow. It makes me more energetic after I put my energy into working for Kiraas.
So, Kirti, tell us about Kiraas. Like, what is it? What is the idea behind it?
It's an amalgamation of two words, that
Hmm.
is Kirti, Kir is
Hmm.
for Kirti, and double AS is for Aas. So Aas is a Hindi word which literally means having hope or hope, right? So
Hmm.
it's like my own hope. That's the main idea behind Kiraas.
Hmm.
Uh, so it was started last year in March, when I actually realized it, that whatever we were consuming, whatever we were being surrounded with, had such a grave environmental impact. I mean, starting from the toothbrush we use to the toothpaste that we use,
Hmm.
even the water that we use to rinse our
Hmm.
mouth and everything was having such a huge impact. And I realized this after reading a lot about diseases in my first
Hmm.
year of medical school.
Hmm.
And I was always very keen on understanding the pathology behind the disease.
Hmm.
I mean, what's the etiologic factor? Why is that disease occurring?
Hmm.
And what are the main reasons? So I would always find that environmental factors was always a part of it, besides the other pathologic
Hmm.
causes. And after digging more about it, that what are actually the environmental factors, after looking at certain research papers, reading them,
Hmm.
I figured out that plastic was one of the elements that was having a grave impact on our health, and we were not even aware about it, because we were consuming plastic through our table salt. We are actually consuming
Hmm.
plastic through the water we drink, the food we eat, through
Hmm.
vegetables, through meat, etc. And besides plastic, there were several other toxins that were being released by plastic, which were also
Hmm.
having a grave impact on our body. And then
Hmm.
we have a whole array of cosmetic toxic chemicals that we use on daily basis. For example, we use lead for our lipsticks and everything, and eventually it just bioaccumulates in our body and into the waters, and it just impacts us, right? So it was like I was surrounded by so much information and so many things that it was really hard for me to not change or bring change in my family members and in my own lifestyle. So
Mm-hmm.
Kiraas was basically something that I started off to waive my own requirements. That was,
Mm-hmm.
I needed a lip balm, so I made one for myself. I needed a soap, so I made one for myself. I
Mm-hmm.
needed shampoo bars because I wanted to replace shampoo bottles, so I made
Mm-hmm.
one for myself. So that was how I started doing it on my own. And I got the knowledge of making all such things through one of the workshops that I had attended in Bangalore
Mm-hmm.
when I was there just for this vacation sort of thing after my 12th
Mm-hmm.
boards. So I was like, okay, let's just do a course. And the knowledge I gained through that course on formulating and
Mm-hmm.
formulations helped me produce and create such products for my own use. So the main purpose of having Kiraas or of growing Kiraas was to give myself affordable eco-friendly alternatives that were free from toxic chemicals, irritants,
Mm-hmm.
artificial preservatives, artificial colors, and everything that you can think about when it
Yeah.
comes to artificial world. So yeah. So this was the main motive that I should act on my own level for to prevent
Mm-hmm.
climate change firstly and to prevent
Mm-hmm.
diseases for myself. Then gradually it shifted on to giving products to my friends for trial and
Mm-hmm.
testing, and they liked it. To my surprise, they
Wow.
liked it.
Uh,
So yeah, so then I started selling them. So it was initially just for rupees 25 because I was
mm-hmm.
not much looking into profits or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Even till date, I don't really seek profit from the work that I'm doing because I have studies to do as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. And I know that one day I'm gonna become a doctor. So that's everything that's gonna happen then. So yeah, it's not about the money. So the pricing were
Mm-hmm.
always very affordable and cheap
Mm-hmm.
so that everybody can have access to it. Yeah.
I think that's great
That's the
because,
story
like,
of Kirat.
no, that's actually amazing, and I think somewhere at the back of our minds, we always have this notion that, sustainable, suppose goods are expensive.
Yeah,
But with
right,
what you're
right.
doing, matlab, it's very accessible to actually everyone.
Hmm. Yeah, the main idea behind Kiras was, at the first place, it was for my self consumption because I
Mm-hmm.
realized ki I cannot change everyone in the world. I cannot
Correct.
change everyone around me, right? But I can change myself. I can change the way I am living. So, like everybody says, charity begins at home. So, I considered myself as home
Uh-huh.
and started making the changes, charitable changes.
Charitable changes. No, like to summarize that, I'll say that not everyone can do everything, but yes, everyone
Right,
can do something.
right,
Okay,
right, right.
so like having said that, like as you told that you're pursuing your MBBS, and I know that MBBS, like it requires a lot of time, a lot of efforts. So how do you manage
Totally.
like MBBS with Kiraas?
So, see, when I started off, like I mentioned, it was just for my own use, and then I thought
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'll just do it for my friends and family members.
Mm-hmm.
But then eventually people started liking the products and they were very keen into the motive that I had because I was
Mm-hmm.
covering all the aspects that an ideal product should have. An ideal,
Mm-hmm.
sustainable, and eco friendly product should
Mm-hmm.
have. For example, plastic free, zero waste, no plastic in the packaging, everything that's
Mm-hmm.
being used for production is organic, certified organic, it's
Mm-hmm.
vegan. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's covering all the aspects that is necessary to have a focus on in today's time.
Mm-hmm.
So, definitely, I did not expect that I would be having, Kiraas as a brand later in life.
Mm-hmm.
But I had this thing that okay, if in case it does happen, how am I gonna work? So
Mm-hmm.
I had that plan back in my mind, back in the head of me, that okay, if it happens in a larger level, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna do it? And it was also something that my parents were afraid of. Ki they
Mm-hmm.
used to say this, ki beta padhai chhod do. इसको कर लो. Because they used to see me that how dedicated I was towards Kiraas and the work associated to it. So I think the main reason why I'm able to juggle both of the things very well, because I'm really, really, really keen about medical sciences, and I'm extremely interested into the subjects. This is one of the reasons why I chose to become a doctor. And I mean, it's the dedication, it's something that is in me. I have to do it, so I do it, right? I mean, usually what people do is they have a lot of ideas, and they have a lot of capacity, they have like really strong potential to do something which is important, but they don't really do it because they feel they don't have enough resources, they feel they don't have enough time. Jabki I feel that everybody has enough time to start with their dream. So it's the time management. So like giving 2 hours to Kiraas every day, and then rest of the time from 12-hour period I can give to my studies. So it's like I have 10 hours for my studies. Not that I study for 10 hours, but still, yeah. And so that's how I managed.
So, what are your current challenges, and like what gives you the strength to overcome your challenges?
Current challenges, looking at the pandemic, looking from the pandemic point of view. So I just have the current challenge to stay motivated to study. That's the studies wise. But for Kiraas, I think in this pandemic, many people have realized the importance of doing their bit for the environment. So that used to be one of the challenges earlier, that I had to convince a lot of people into switching into a better lifestyle, eco-friendly lifestyle, and sustainable lifestyle. And this pandemic has actually helped me with that problem. So it was something God's gift only. Yeah, in helping people realize that it's really important to make a switch onto a better lifestyle. Other than that, the only challenge, I wouldn't say challenge, I would say something that makes me want to be better. I like to give it a positive note to the obstacles or problems, like people say, so that with optimistic nature and a demeanor that is very positive, I can work with it, with the whatever obstacle it is. So right now, though, I don't feel there are enough challenges, but yes, since I am from a science background, and I have been from the science background only, and I was always very much into sciences and not into finance. So it's just that when you start a brand, or when you like want to establish it in a concrete manner, you need to have legalizations of your brand name, and everything that you do, you have to have a trademark and copyright,
Yeah,
and there's a lot of things that goes on.
documentation and technical
Right,
stuff.
right. So this was one of the things that was very challenging for me to realize, to actually put it into practical manner, because commerce is another world of science, and I've never been I've never had a touch of it or a taste of it so far in life. So it was one of the things that to learn about all such things, all the terminologies, understanding the banking system, from the business owner point of view and all
Yeah.
such things, that was a challenge for me. And I'm still learning about it, even though there's a lot of other things I need to learn, but I'm still doing it. So, like I said, it becomes a challenge only when you are not dedicated enough to a cause. Okay, if you know that, okay, I have to do it, if you realize that, yeah, I have immense potential of doing this thing, of making this thing happen, you wouldn't consider any of the small incidences or struggles as a challenge. You're going to consider it as a learning point. So that's what I believe in, and that's what I wish to convey.
Okay. So, like, what have been your biggest highs and lows with Kiraas?
So, biggest highs and lows, one of these, like I just mentioned, was understanding the world of finance. And
Mm-hmm.
because I was not very well versed with it, I did
Mm-hmm.
have certain losses in the initial stages of when I was expanding the work.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's okay. It always comes back. I believe it always comes back. You lose once, you gain multiple times. So it comes back, not an issue. Other than that, I had issues regarding convincing people, first
Mm-hmm.
thing. And then other than that, because I'm a student, even now I'm a second year MBBS student, so my colleagues had a very different reaction to the work that I'm doing. For them, owning a business is something that a student cannot do. For them, it's like, if you are a student and if you are a medical
Mm-hmm.
student, you cannot just own a business, you cannot do it properly. And their opinions, their criticism, their comments, that was something that had affected me a lot initially. And I used to feel that, why isn't people being supportive? So, yeah, so I just want to say that whenever somebody starts something, many people are going to criticize you for that. You're going to be criticized till the very core of your work. But then you don't have to stop, okay? You can take a pause, you don't have to stop entirely, because that's what they want you to do.
Exactly.
So, yeah, coming out of that aura of negativity was one of my biggest challenges after I started off as a student. And I'm actually an emotional person, but I learned through the way that we don't always have to react to what people say to us if we know that we are doing the right thing. So, this was one of the challenges.
And like truly well said that we just need to focus on our path and not focus what anyone else is saying.
Right.
Just flying fearlessly, I would say.
Hmm.
Okay, so what have been your biggest learnings from your journey?
Okay, I think I've already answered that partially. But the one other learnings I can mention is that you need to see, from a business owner point of view, I'm gonna answer this thing
Mhm,
to all the aspiring startups and startup people and entrepreneurs,
mhm,
that the most important thing you should keep in mind is your customer satisfaction. I
mhm,
mean, you are not in this world, because the world is full of capitalist people and business owners who just want to exploit others, take the pockets, just empty the pockets, take the money, and just dwindle around with the money and not do anything good for the environment. So, what your responsibilities as 2020 ka entrepreneur should be, that you do your part for the environment, because all the resources that you're going to use are going to come from the nature itself, right? So, first thing. Secondly, it is always better to have a customer base which is proper, instead of having more sales or something. Your customer satisfaction is should be your top priority. It's like you need to form relationships with the people who connect with you through your product or through your services. That's very important, and this is something that I've learned. There was this one incident that I was supposed to collaborate with another vegan company. I wouldn't
mhm,
mention the name, but yeah.
mhm,
So they had asked me for certain soap bars and shampoo bars, and I delivered it to them, just I would have delivered to anybody else. But they, even on a discounted price, because they were there to resell it. Okay.
mhm,
So after the parcel had reached their place, it was in Mumbai.
mhm,
Uh, they told me that it's in a very bad condition, and that they want
mhm,
another parcel, but they don't want to pay money for it. They want another set of order, and they don't want to pay anything for it. Now,
Mm-hmm.
ideally, as a good heart person or as a good person,
Mm-hmm.
anybody would have given another set of parcel to them or product to them, because the main motive is to help people switch, right? But
Mm-hmm.
as a business owner, you need to be strong enough and not emotionally be molded, by what
Mm-hmm.
people demand from you. I mean, yeah, you are doing your best to give your services, but you need
Mm-hmm.
to be emotionally strong, even if it's your friends who are asking for products, or if it's your family members or anything. You need to be emotionally strong and concrete with your points that I'm sorry, I cannot do this, and just put off flame to it, like, okay, fine, it's done, tick it off. So the most important thing that I learned from this incident was that I don't have to play with my heart when I'm in business or when I'm running something. I need to use both my mind and heart.
Mm-hmm.
So this is also one of the learnings that I consider as a very important factor in the
It's
growth.
it's a good example. I would say it's beautiful. This really happens. Like when people are starting off, like sometimes, like we don't feel confident, because as someone who's just started off, so this really happens a lot with people, and you just need to stay strong, and you just need to know your own worth, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
You have an amazing story and you have had an amazing journey. And till date, yeah, you are on this beautiful journey. Like, thank you so much for being in the show. You're truly an inspiration. And I really, really wish you like lots of good wishes and good luck for this beautiful journey that you're on. And just stay strong. And yes, you're already like I would say a clientpreneur or someone who's who's a solution bearer actually, I would say trying
Thank
to
you.
bring the change. Thank you so much.
Actually, you are a climapreneur, an exact climapreneur, because you are helping me and people like me share our stories with others. And I'm pretty sure someday, when somebody would listen to this conversation,
Hmm.
if it's a person like me, if it's a person who's been emotionally challenged in the past and has a little bit of inferior complexities about themselves or their potential, if they doubt their potentials, I'm pretty sure if they listen to this and if they know that yes, somebody out there has done something,
Hmm.
being a person that I am, if they think, then I'm pretty sure they will also have the confidence to start something. And it's very important that these stories are shared to
Yes.
larger group of people,
Mhm.
so that everybody can unleash their potential and work on it, and bring the
Well,
change.
yeah, well said, Kirti. And that is actually exactly the motive of this show because I feel that these stories could really help people bridge that gap and could maybe, could be that one factor that can help someone to just start their journey. And like, thank you so much for your kind words. I think like listening to you saying this, I already feel that the motive of the show is like getting towards its fulfillment.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.